Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 9 of the Experimental 1.0 Folktails normal mode playthrough on the pressure map. Today we are going to try and do something a little bit extreme. We're going to try and greenify a little bit of this area, and I want to at least tackle some of the bad water problems that we have. Now, look at these guys running around. So, hard lessons have been taught on this map about how much it is here to not make your life easy. And I want to tackle this one. Now, this one is an interesting one because it's fed from somewhere up here. I believe it's... probably helps if I do that. From here. So if we were to turn this one off, we need to obviously get down to the thing. Now, it's fully under pressure here. This is obviously blocked, so it's not a problem. And then it goes up a bit more to then eventually spill out here. Now, we could... not really cheese it, I suppose, but we could block this area from being a problem. But I don't think that'll ultimately work out for us, as it will cause it to come out somewhere else. So we're going to need to cap the thing, which is obviously the main goal of this. So, let's see what we have with us. So we can't do anything with dynamite yet. I mean, we could afford it, actually, so why not? Let's just buy that. But we need to obviously mark out where this is, so for all intents and purposes, we're just going to scoop up and down the... that's not what I wanted, but... So, they can't build that, which is fine. But that is going to be our marker for when we do get up here. Now, to get to this point, we are going to need to fix a lot of the industry issues that we have, quite dramatically, actually. So we're kind of stuck as it stands because we're, well, we need more power. I mean, not running this, but we need another smelter at least, some other bits and pieces. But getting them... Bless me, that's just a sneeze I didn't want to do. Sorry, right, back in the room. So, we can't get to here, and it's going to be covered in all of the bad goo, which we don't want to also get involved with. So, logs are not great, planks are not great, so the first things first is fixing those. So, logs are going to come up eventually. This will eventually be a thing. But we do need more farms also. So the best way to tackle that, I think, is basically to figure out how to get up and around. So they're still working on getting the zip lines in everywhere else. I guess they're working on that. Yeah, okay. But eventually we're aiming for one of these bad boys here. Which obviously is a lot of, well, everything, really. So, yeah. More power and more basics. So, the best way to tackle this, I think, without getting too ridiculous... we're going to need that too, also. I think it's just go up and over. If I'm totally honest, so it's gonna have to be that, I'm afraid. So it's gonna be a bit of a pain to get over this. So let's just grin and bear it at this point, I suppose. So given that we have a glut of logs over planks, I think it's just going to be as easy. I didn't want to do that, but never mind. Just as easy to lay these in. That's not what I wanted, but that is. And we're just going to have to do something along these lines. It's not the most efficient way of doing it, but it's the best we've got. So that should allow them to build everything. Or at least most of it. Maybe not this. Oh no, they will. They'll be able to get off the edge here. So that is covered. I can get to that. They get that. Right, okay. Yes, it's quite a lot of waste of wood, but we have some wood to spare, so that should do us fine for now. Although we've unlocked the dynamite, we're not actually making any yet, which is fine for now. And we have 1 million jobs, which means we need 1 million more beavers. Because this is the Folktails, we are also going to be... Let's say, why is it at -12? We're also stuck behind being able to produce the beavers in the houses, which let you work out the maths on that one. Now, I didn't want to yeet that into non-existence, but never mind. We need... Can't find it. There we go. We need that, as we need to boost the population. So we have 4 baby beavers, which are nowhere near done. And 9 jobs, which... builders... log pumper, which I guess is okay. And what was the other one? Oh, the other log pumper. That's fine. Currently these guys are pumping everything out anyway, so this is just more a permanent thing. We will eventually move into getting the big bad pump here, and just probably a couple of those in here and just pump for days. But we'll build a massive platform when we're at that kind of level. But it will take them a while, as they seem to be concentrating on this for now, so... Okay, they finished it. Fine. Zip lines will be forever a problem, which is kind of... Well, not really a problem, but it's... It shouldn't take them too long to sort it. I guess storage is going to be needed down here somewhere, so let's just make a quick dirty pile. Let's set that to obtain. Let's get that built. I suppose we'll lay in another one of those, which they'll get to eventually. But just in case they get too excited, we'll knock that down just a shade. So if the haulers can bring this in for us, which we don't have any there, which is terrible news. Looks like they're going to concentrate on the housing first, which actually is probably a better idea. So let's increase the beaver numbers. And we'll have to rip all of this out at some point. Over here, it's a drought, isn't it? So yeah, we built this a couple of episodes ago. This is our protection against the bad tides. If I remember to turn it on. Last time I didn't, which was a big fail on my part, but never mind. We are still making science, which is okay. Okay, 6-day drought. There's plenty of water everywhere. Looking at this giant Vato reservoir here. What that does mean is we could actually get down here and build that, but I think if we're going to build more power down across this area, which is very likely, it's better just to come up to this level anyway. And that's out of power, so let's see if we can turn this guy on. We have some scraps, so that should keep that fed and watered, and we'll keep this going for the planks. No flow, but these guys will give us something. Not a lot, but they will give us something. In the meantime, now that's useless, we should be able to get some haulers in. Cool, so that's connected. That gives us 6 extra beds, which means there's going to be about 12 million baby beavers. Old Senwa here's next up on the back to the coal face. Good, 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 good. This is also now useless to us, which is fine. To be fair, that's full anyway, so don't really need to worry too much about it. Yeah, we are producing the metal blocks, so that's okay. You can supply other warehouses, so hopefully the haulers will do something about that. Well, we have some anyway. Okay, well, I guess they are the oldest construction jobs that there are, but I think it will be better for you guys to concentrate on this first. Okay, so we have enough potatoes to couple dogs with. We ripped the potatoes out down here, and I think if I remember rightly, it was going to be carrot season down here, so why don't we lay in some carrots? How much room does this guy have? Quite a bit, actually. Let's expand some of the foodstuffs as well, then. If he has the reach, we may as well plant it. And we may as well plant those 2 dandelions. And then I'll pause that once again. And your work is done. Thank you very much. I mean, it's full storage anyway, so it's not too much of a problem. There's enough berries in there. There is no paper. Okay, so power is done. And they should be concentrating on those now, which is a lot of logs, but I think we'll be fine. Cool, so connectivity up to there is done. There's no wind blowing, so we have no power. And I think the last couple of connections they've got to make is these. Yeah, so 10 blocks for that. It's really 13 metal blocks in total, which we're probably not going to make this side of the drought. I think it's going to be probably well into the next temperate cycle before we can get around to that. What we do have, though, is an opportunity. That opportunity is to get around here. So, just zoom into the water. We need to be able to build a path around here, which I suspect is this guy. And then, obviously, the longest path in all creation. What level is that? So we need to go up the next level anyway, so we may as well just go yoink. And we may as well do that then. Right, so we have a place to go to, not the dynamite to do anything about it. But that is not a problem. Okay, good. So that should increase the power substantially enough. We do need to think about more trees, to be fair. I mean, these should be coming in soon anyway. It looks like they are anyway. Good, okay. These were planted mainly for not pine resin or anything like that, to be honest, although there is quite a bit in them. It was mainly for wood. But I think what will benefit us is if we just say all of these should be for cutting. And seemingly these trees are unplantable, so let's just goodbye to those two. Okay, so cycle 26. Looks like they're building that station first, which is a bit weird, but whatever, it'll be fine. That is a plank problem. That's fine. We can stop that for now. We've got enough bad water to not really be a problem as it stands. We should have all of these planted, which we do. We don't have any storage for those though, so let's just make a quick and dirty storage for sunflower seeds. Somewhere in here, sunflower seeds. It's a bit of a distance, I'll grant you, but it should be fine. This bad water should be coming through. Here it comes, right. So let's see how much power we've got. So we need 670. I think we were just under that before. I'll take that, thank you very much. That will do nicely. Very nicely. If we so wanted to, we could also pull back some of this, because we just need this area, so we could recoup some. And I'm shocked that it actually didn't go into a stupid location. So that should be all collectible. 3,000 power, nice, okay, happy days. So we shouldn't have any issues with surging here, as we fix that with the double layer of levees here. Not falling into that trap again, and over here it should be spilling off the side, which it is. Awesome, okay. And it looks like our water supply is full. Nice, okay. worst places for the water to be, like empty. This may sort itself out. I'm not sure why this does this. I do wonder about swapping these for more sluices on top. Although it's not quite high enough. I think it's about balanced, to be fair. It doesn't flood the entire area. It's not the greatest it could be, though. They're there to do that. I'm not sure if we need these anymore, to be fair. Let's take those out. Don't know what they'll get out of that. Okay, they'll get some planks. Just pause that before any crazy builders decide to try and build it. We should be able to get that picked up. Those blocks will probably go into here. The tower would have probably been a better one to build first, but I probably laid that in afterwards, which is fine. I'd like this to be done now. Thank you. The plank's looking good for it anyway, so these three machines are working their little beaver tails off to get these numbers up here. So with that, that's all paused anyway, so that's okay. And the job's not looking too bad either. Now, if we... Oh, we don't have the storage anyway. Okay. We build that and say scrap and get that brought in down here. That should make things a little easier for these guys. Metal blocks. It's a bit of a distance, isn't it? I think for now we'll just put that in as well, and we'll just say metal blocks. Haulers should bring that in. Okay. They should be on with that. We still have haulers, which is good to see. No extra builders though, which is fine. Hopefully the carrots are coming over here. Yes, but not many. Fine. I'm gonna put another guy in there, because I think that's holding this farm up is the fact there isn't three of them. And there's probably not enough haulers either. But there's not enough beavers, so can't really haul what you can't have people to pick up. Okay, so production begins on there. Something I am quite fearful of is blowing this and then it spilling out into here, but it's just contaminating a beaver. It'll probably be fine. Now this will be a long old slog. That is the wrong thing. This will be a very long old slog because we're going to have to do it with single dynamites, as we are not anywhere near the ability to make this any easier for the beavers by getting triple or double dynamites. I mean, we can afford them, mostly, but it's the extract that we can't do yet. We need another 600 science for that, which we do have, technically. But we do need more add in now. Science. Science is a problem that we should fix. We have everything for it, except so it's going to take us a while to get. Oh no, it's 1,000. I thought it was 1,500. For the sake of it, I'm going to blow all the science on that. Will it fit up here? Yes, it will. Okay. And it's not a great place for it, but it's going to live here. They won't be able to reach that, but if we pause this for just a second and say, high prioritize that, please. And now resume. So this guy should be pulling out pine resin. And for the lack of anywhere else to put it, there will do. Now we haven't marked all these for cutting, so these should give us plenty of pine resin for what we need. But with this built, we can stop really worrying about having people in here. So let's just bin that off. We can rebuild them if need be, but I don't think we're going to need them. We've got everything we need for this. And I will say that we probably do need that. But again, we are building far more things to staff than we actually have beavers to go in them. But there's a couple there that are nearly ready, so take us back down to 5. We're going to have to replace some more houses, unfortunately. Not much we can do about that, though. We're not going to need 4 beavers in this thing anyway, so needs must, I suppose. But when the science can run away with itself, will be sorted. So it's going to be a case of going to have to get rid of a lot of stuff here, aren't we? So let's just say I think for well-being, we'll put a rooftop terrace on the back here. Just so they have a little bit of entertainment. And say goodbye to this, this, this. And that should buy us enough beavers to do it. So this is now done. Science will be on its way up. Blocks are good. Okay. So let's just see. So this thing is 2,000 science, and it's going to need, well, 3 storages, I suppose. Then. What was it again? Gears, planks, metal. All right, so. Planks and blocks and the gears. Make them homeless, they'll be very unhappy about it. This is probably a really bad idea, increasing the housing this much, but what we can do... How exactly did you manage that? Please leave. Thank you. What we will do is start pausing some of these houses here, so... Just so we don't go a bit crazy with this. Should give us a bit more control over the population. At least that's the theory. Yeah, they know when they're done, which is fine. Cool, so they can at least reuse that, and we probably should look at some extra well-being stuff for them. Okay, it's drought in 3 days, that's not too much of a worry. Alright, so those roofs will help somewhat anyway. Are these zip lines in? Oh good, they are. Cool, so there's no current drain on our metal usage, which is fine. So this thing's going to fly up, which is perfect to see. We are very close to the sun on power, so it may be worth considering get another water wheel. We are going to have to do some shenanigans with that one as well, but it will mean that we're stuck. Oh well, it doesn't. We can just do this. It's a bit of a waste of logs, I will grant you, but it will mean the beavers can get behind it, so I'm not too concerned with that. What I will say is do that quickly. Yes, we will be down on power. Yes, yes we will. Are we out of scrap now? No, there's loads. But we are running out of metal here, which is a problem. We could turn this one back on, I guess. Let's do that. Let's just pause this guy for now, anyway. So where is our next metal fix? That's the question. Over here, I think. So we can... With some effort, we can get down to that metal there, but there isn't a lot. Closest mine's there. That's not a mine. Some more metal there. The mine there. The boatload over there. Oh, there's another mine there, okay. Right, so we're going to be out of power anyway, so no mega rush on this. This is going to come to a grinding, screeching halt, but that should be okay. Let's just pause you then. I think we can safely decommission all of this. They don't appear to want to harvest anything, so let me force them out for you. You get that harvested. Got rid of that. So we could fix the hole that's in here if we were so inclined to. It'd be nice if all of this bad water went away and we could get back into this. Would be the easiest way of doing it, but I don't think that'll happen for a long time because the drain for this area is now plugged up in here. I don't think it'll go anywhere, which is fine. So with nothing to do, you can all go find something else to do. So I think that something else is probably going to be... Let's look at securing some of the metals then. So... I don't think we'll need to actually get up there, to be honest, but I'm going to put it in just in case. And we are going to need it. Okay. So we're going to need a temporary zipline station down here. And we're obviously going to need to get down here, which is going to be a case of doing this and this. I didn't mean to put that there. And so to get down to there, we're going to need some more stairs, which can just come into there. Weird zigzaggy pathing thing, but it'll be fine. That's probably too far, which we can fix by doing that. That is now not too far. And then we're going to need some way to get across here, which will just be simply that. And we will put a zipline station in here. That'll take them a dear sweet while for them to build, but we should have all the bits for it. Which we do, which is fine and dandy. Okay, cool. So that won't take them too long. This one will eventually come out. We'll reclaim all the bits. And then we'll hook that straight into there. But it will reach. It's within tolerance. And this is just going to be for yet more metal. So we'll leave them to it. We don't need to worry about this to be any sort of priority. But I suspect that they'll do it because they haven't got anything else to do. Well, the dams will have gone anyway, so that's okay. Finally ripping that out, the carrots should be picking up. At least that's the theory. Tree farm is looking fine. It is all marked. Yes, it is good. Pine resin is full, so let's just pause that for now. We don't need to worry too much about it. We do need to do things with power. As there is not enough for what we've got, but certainly not stored. We could do with some gravity batteries, but again, they take a lot of resources and there's no real decent place to put them. Maybe there, but even then it's not the best. Okay. So not too far away from that. We have from a science point of view anyway. We have gears and everything else really. That is reachable anyway, so that's fine. We can recoup the stairs later. And they should be buildable once that's in. Okay. So 1 day left on the drought, which is nice. We do need to think about fixing a lot of these areas. So we probably need, after this purchase of the dome, we will look to get fix some of the storages, as we need bigger tanks and everything. So what is not going to be a problem ever. It's just storing it's going to be a problem. So, but they'll keep pumping it forever at this point. Don't really too many concerns on that one. But once that's in, construction should be a lot faster. So waiting for planks, which we are out of. Okay. Okay, so that's cycle 27. Not too bad from a drought point of view. It's going to take a while for this to spin back up. I mean, it wasn't too far from the district, was it? It's just that it has become too far from the district. Tell me it's too far from the district now and that you can just hit it with a hammer. Thanks. And that should give us a nice boost of power. Let's see, so that's starting to come up there. That's going to be another day, I think, before we can make any benefit out of that. I think the water will overspill first. Maybe. Yeah, it will. Right, so they will never need to go down the stairs again. Are we now coming? Yes, we are. Right, so with that, we turn all of this back on. And power is now well above what we need, which is perfect to see. So, very well added here. We are going to run out of space to add more eventually. It might be that we build over top and stick some at the side. I do believe they'll fit. They won't. We'll get one there, but we can't connect it to anything. We will get one in there. But for now, we're fine. So we have 4 bored beavers. So if they're that bored, they can go haul. I think I stole them out there, didn't I? Never mind. We've not got massive construction projects on at the minute anyway, so that's okay. That's been topped up, so we're just going to get rid of it. And we are probably at putting someone in here. And we will need storage for those, so I guess here's as good as any. Now we will need to put someone back into the badwater pump at some point, but there's enough here to keep this thing fed for plenty of explosives, I think. Well, at least they should be. See, now I am tempted to go for the centrifuge. And we can get deeper stuff, which is probably going to be better to dig this out. So we need to tweak how the power is done. So there is an unlimited space back here. We could tweak it by just getting rid of this. Tie that up a fraction. Yeah, alright, so instead of going for what I was going to do with, which was this, I am going to go with a centrifuge first. It's only 600 science. How big is this thing? We do that then, and say goodbye to this path. Yeah, it should fit. There's enough of everything in there to deal with that. And I guess we may as well put that there and just say, you can be for extract. You don't need to be in there. I'm not quite sure why I need to keep babysitting this, but whatever. Shouldn't be that bad. Okay. Based on that change, we can start this though. Kaboom this. And just say, even that out. They won't be able to get down into there, but we can fix that with yet another little staircase, and that should make everything reachable. Somewhere underneath here is obviously another badwater source, which is somewhere. Is it from here? No, it can't be from there. Oh, it's from there. I see. I see. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. So, centrifuge is online. We will need a little tank, so let's just chuck in a little tank. With any luck, with all these haulers, which should still be in here. Okay, they're not. Fair enough. We can probably pause that for now. Puts them back in there, which is good to see. How much is this thing? Oh, it's battle blanks, right, okay, fine. That won't be happening anytime soon. So we need the wood workshop, which we could make. Okay, maybe next time, but just not yet. But we've got stuff over here. They can reach everything there, which is fine. Just check these beavers out. Nowhere near. Okay, fine. That's okay. So I'm going to unlock the first dome. Big hit on science, however, when it is ready, kaboom those. We will be a-okay. Now, this... bigger than it should be, but it will be okay for what we need, because we need to get them to be able to build everything underneath here. And we will need the science turned back on, actually. We will need that. Is there anything we don't need on? Not really. Everything's turned off that needed to be honest. Once that just needs to be hit with a hammer, so that's fine. So we need the science to be able to blast this out, and we're going to go straight for trips. So we need to double that science, and then we'll be fine. Shouldn't take too long, a couple of days, and it'll be all done and with us. Power's still fine. Okay, so we're out of badwater, so we need that guy back on, so yet more jobs. And I think we're going to be definitely needing to look at the bigger storages sooner rather than later. This was at 1,000 science. Yeah, no, I want the triple dynamites first. So from a housing point of view, I mean, we've got 7 babies, so we don't need too many more. Although we are out of beds, so maybe we do. Let's just turn them back on then. That's maybe the easiest thing we can do. I would like to move them somewhere else, to be honest. I don't really want to keep Downer here. And we do need to green the map, which means we're probably going to lose this area as well. But it'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. So we've got 1.1k of science. Not long till we get 1.2. Come the morrow anyway, beaver time. I'm not entirely sure we can feed this and this at the same time, but is that done? Yes, it is. So let's just delete that. We can also say goodbye to all of this. I didn't mean to yeet that into non-existence either, but never mind. is reachable. Well, that's reachable anyway. Good. Okay. Is that now useless because you can't get to it? Yes. So more stairs. It is prioritized by holders. We probably need more of these as well. Not entirely sure that one can cope, and the concentration's not like super pure anymore either. Yeah, okay, let's... Let's build another. The reach on these is awful anyway, so it kind of is what it is. But they'll get that built in fairly decent time, I think. So we have our science. Let's now unlock that. And they should be able to build. Okay, bad tide approaching. So I think what we'll do is wait for this bad tide to get approach, and then we'll call this episode here. So let's just run through what we've managed to do today. Power is sorted, at least for now. We're not quite super close to the sun, but we're not a million miles away from it. Zip lines are fixed. We've got future metal areas here, which we can get to. I'm not entirely sure the best way to get to this bit without coming through there anyway, which might be an interesting one to do. We can't get low enough to see if we can walk straight through there, but it seems like it is of that level. But we might just need to go over the top. But that will help because of the zip lines. So there's that. We've also started the production of blocking our first hole here. So once this is capped, all of this should stop being a problem, in theory. So all of that will eventually dry out. And I think there's another one here. It's the seep, okay. There's another one we need to deal with here, but obviously these two are providing the power for everything. So with those, it might be more worthwhile figuring out the best way to harness that power and chuck it straight off the map, and then greenify everything else. So we're probably going to be building massive amounts of water wheels again. It's a big power battery for us. We could go to windmills, I guess. We'd need to change a lot of the power setup for this as well, and we'd need more of it. But we did add 2 more pumpers in. Hopefully these guys should be able to top this up enough to keep the dynamite going and the extract. But I'm not sure they will. But they have got those in, so let's kaboom that. And we are very close, I believe, to hitting bedrock, so to speak. Just zoom in slightly. One, two, three. So that will be it, I think. So hopefully in this time they'll be able to get that done. We could blow these 3, 4, and see if we're there. So I'm gonna kaboom that, and we are down to the base, which it flooded here, which I suspected it might do. But I think that was just releasing the pressure. Or it is the map's name, but I'm glad that we did everything from up here. I will remove this temptation here. And there is our bad tide. So with that, we can build on this thing now. And we can put the dome in. So I guess the last thing we will do is put the dome on top. Like so. And they can work on that. So that's probably devastated loads of things. I should have closed that. I should have closed that. There's no point saving it at this point. But never mind. I was distracted. Anyway, while the beavers work on this, it'll take them a while, but that is our first thing to block down here, so that should fix all of, well, most of this area. But we'll see what it does to the pressure of somewhere else and what else it breaks. But we will enjoy figuring that out next time. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, please chuck them down below. If you have any suggestions or whatnot, always good to see them. But other than that, as I've said, see you guys in the next one. Obviously, this was moved ahead because we finished the other playthrough yesterday, on Monday. So there'll be a few more of these 1.0 experimentals instead of just the 2 on a weekend. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do this one twice a week, and then the other one, the Oasis one, just carry on with the once. Not sure. Maybe flip-flop, but it might be confusing. Let me know your thoughts if there's anyone particular, either this one or the Oasis one. If you want to see those instead, I can swap them around to give one priority over the other. It's all good. But other than that, as I said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.